Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Dorso. There you go. And I'm the chairman of the board of the Woodbridge Metro Chamber of Commerce. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 20th Annual Mayor's Breakfast. Our topic this year is optimizing health and wellness in the workplace. I'd like to invite Angie Serkis to the front to lead us in the pledge to the flag. Angie?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Angie. Before we begin our program, I'd like to take a moment to thank our generous sponsors. Bayshore Family of Companies, BCB Community Bank of Woodbridge, Berkeley College, CME Associates, Columbia Bank, Dakotas Fitzpatrick Cole and Giblin, Fortune Metal Recycling, Hackensack Meridian Health, Raritan Bay Division, Hotels Unlimited and TFE Properties. Go ahead.
The rowdy.
That's good. That's the rowdy table. It's one in every group. Ideal Homes, Investors Bank, JAG Physical Therapy, James P. Nolan and Associates, Nyack Consulting Group, LLC, Najari and Associates, Northfield Bank. It's the bankers. Peak Environmental, Samwell Institute for Pain Management, Sills, Cummins and Gross, T&M Associates, Wegmans, and the Woodbridge Jewelry Exchange. A big round of applause for the generous support. At this time, I'd just like to remind you about some of our upcoming events. On October 16th, we have our Chairman's Awards Dinner. This year, we have an exceptional group of honorees. On December 9th, we have our annual holiday luncheon. So please make every effort to attend. Again, I'd like to thank you for your attendance, and at this time, it's an honor and a privilege for me to introduce our Mayor, John McCormick, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this luncheon. I want to start by thanking my right arm, Carolyn Ehrlich, who helped coordinate this on behalf of the administration with the Chamber. So she's going to be introducing the speakers. So, Carol, thank you very much. There's a whole host of people here from the town. I see some council people: Kyle Anderson, Howie Bauer, Debbie Meehan, Nancy Drum is here. Anybody else? Brian Small. Oh, there's Brian right there. Sorry, Brian Small. Why don't we have everybody that works for the great township of Woodbridge just stand up? Everybody who works here. We also have a lot of our members of the Board of Education. If you work for the Board of Ed, stand up. I see Dr. Zager, the superintendent, Dr. Massimino, the assistant. I want to thank in absentia the guy who is the leader of our wellness program, Councilman Greg Ficarra. Each of our council people gets their areas of interest, and they work them, and they advocate for them, and they talk about them, they attend all the events, and wellness has been on Greg's agenda since he became councilman almost 13 years ago. He's traveling on business, but I want to thank Greg for the great effort that he puts in on the Mayor's Wellness Campaign. So thank you, Greg Ficarra. We have a whole host of things that we do for the health area in town. It would be too numerous to mention everything, but we have a very, very active health department with our seniors, with the Olympics, with mammograms, with all kinds of different programs. The one that really is important, we started last year doing these angioplastic screenings in Town Hall, where you go in, you spend about 20 minutes, you get everything hooked up to you, everything checked out. And one of our employees actually at that found out that she had thyroid cancer, caught it very, very early. Had we not had that screening, there's every possibility that this would have languished in her for a couple of years before she ever noticed it, and it might have been too late by the time she did. So it's just tremendous, that program that happened. I think it was Robert Wood. It was the Hackensack. There's Linda Mazzella at Hackensack Meridian. So thank you, Linda. You saved somebody's life. I also want to promote the upcoming October 4th is Women's Health Day and the Mayor's Health Expo. Where is that this year? Where is that this year?
Health Center.
Health Center, okay. It's over at the Health Center by the library. That's October 4th, usually between 9 and 2. So please avail yourselves of that. And the last thing I want to just touch on is the addiction services program that we have through the health department. Dr. Bonnie Nolan is an amazing resource with the township of Woodbridge. She came and she started that in our town. It is so good that 8 other towns now use our services. We have recovery coaches that are on call, and if somebody gets Narcan or somebody gets discovered to be using and goes to the hospital or to someplace, these coaches go out. They are in recovery themselves. They talk to the people who are abusing drugs, and they get them the right help, they get them the right services, the right programs. I think the best ever breakfast we had was 3 years ago or so, where Jordan from Northfield Bank got up here and talked for a half an hour straight with no notes and laid out his entire experience and how he got hooked on drugs and how he got treatment and how he turned his life around. But there's nothing more important in our health department right now than what we're doing with the opioid program. So I want to thank Dennis Green, our health director, for his leadership of that, and especially Dr. Bonnie Nolan and all of our dozens and dozens of recovery coaches. So thank you. Ready? And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce my right arm, who does everything in town, from economic development to being the chief of staff and everything else, because she's literally in my office. Her desk is near mine, and we're together all the time, and I'm nothing without her. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief of Staff Carolyn Ehrlich. You gotta watch this. You gotta hold it close.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, and thank you, everybody, for being here. This is such an amazing turnout, and a special thanks to Karen Barnes and the whole staff of the Chamber of Commerce. She does so much work behind the scenes that no one would ever believe it. Just incredible. And this whole morning is due to her, and that's why it's so successful. Thank you, Karen. So I think we've all seen the competitions for best places to work. And I think we probably all would love to make that list. I think a couple of businesses in our town actually have. But the reason why I bring it up is because just about everybody, I think everybody, who makes it to a best place to work, one component that they all have in common is caring about their employees' health and wellness. And whether you're a small business with only 5 people or a huge business with 500 to 1,000 people, there are always things that you can do to make your employees healthier and feel better. So that is why we brought up this panel. We brought them together. These are experts in the field. This is what they do. And so they are going to share why it's important and some of the tips that they have. I'm going to start off the program with Kelly Briggs from Hackensack Meridian Health. And she is their Director of Integrative Health and Medicine. She's a certified yoga instructor and Reiki master. Her areas of expertise include, and I love this, so I'm going to quote her, elevating the patient experience as a human experience and advancing service excellence. We met Kelly. She came into the chamber, and I have to tell you, by the time I was done talking to her, I was so motivated and so charged, I wanted to go out and run a mile, which I don't run. I work out, but I don't run. And I never wanted to have an ounce of sugar again. So, Kelly, thank you for coming, and here's the mic.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I just want to applaud everyone here. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I want to applaud everyone for being here and for your interest in wellness and the well-being of the people that you work with. So, integrative health and medicine, I just wanted to share what that actually means, and it's really a focus on health and well-being and how to optimize that, not just looking at problems, but that root cause of problems. And so oftentimes it's those fundamentals, such as how are we sleeping? So just kind of think about last night, how many hours did you sleep? And if it's below 7 or 8, that's something that you really want to give some thought. How are we active? How much activity are you engaging in every day? And then think about your nutrition. And those 3 things will inform you and give you a greater sense of purpose and resilience. So when things maybe don't go the way you planned, how well are you able to bounce back? So sometimes it's those very fundamentals that we often overlook because we're keep going and pushing and exceeding. So I just want to have a moment where we can maybe just take a little pause and just reflect on some of those very basic elements. So I created a toolkit with the help of my team, and I just want to acknowledge Linda and Paula from Hackensack Meridian Integrative Health. And on the table, please take a folder with you because I know how busy all of you are leading your businesses, and I wanted to provide some very simple takeaways for you that you can implement today. So in your packet, we have a booklet about how you can create mindful moments. And they're very simple and they're very, very important. And these strategies have helped people engage their teams in ways that not only help them make the great places to work, because one of the important components of that survey is your employees feeling that there's work-life balance and what that means to them. So what's in your folder will help you as human beings, and will also help you have greater connection to those that you're leading. So if we could, and I know that you're still enjoying your breakfast, but if I could ask you if we could just take a moment, I wanted you to really experience what mindfulness means. Because I can talk about it, but unless you really have an experience of it, it's very hard to kind of understand that. So if we could, I would like to invite you just to take a moment to find some stillness and sit in your chair with dignity. Make sure that the back is supported with the back of your chair, your feet are flat on the floor. And I invite you, if you'd like to close your eyes or lower your gaze, and just find a relaxing posture. And begin to take some slow, deep breaths. And as you're breathing in and out through the nose, just allow the weight of the body to settle down towards the earth. Feel your feet against the earth. Feel a sense of grounding. Feel the backs of your legs supported against the chair. And begin to relax the muscles in your feet. Relax your legs. Notice the hips. Begin to notice your spine supported against your chair. Relaxing the upper back, the middle back, the lower back. Bring awareness to the belly, the rib cage and chest. Relax the shoulders, releasing any tension that you may be holding in your arms, wrists, hands, and fingers. And then bring your attention to the top of your head. Relax all the muscles in your face. And then gently rest your awareness within your heart. And allow yourself to breathe from the heart center. Breathing in love and light. And breathing out love and light. If you notice thoughts entering the mind, just notice them and gently come back to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. You can gently begin to deepen your breath, bringing greater awareness into the body. Begin to invite movement into your fingers and toes, bringing more awareness into your physical body. We'll take a deep inhale breath together through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale out. Again, deepening the breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And when you feel ready, you can gently open the eyes. So welcome back. How did that feel? Anybody feel worse? And for some people, I say that in jest, but sometimes finding stillness is the hardest thing that someone can ask you to do. So I really appreciate people's effort in kind of exploring that. And just knowing that sometimes the most profound transitions and transformation in our life happen when we find that stillness. So, again, I welcome you to take some information with you. I included some scripts and some ways that you can incorporate mindful moments such as that. Think about maybe if you're going to have a meeting, certainly with some, pretty intense subject matter, you might want to start with 3 minutes of breathing. And that was only 3.5 minutes, by the way. It may have felt longer. I don't know. So, again, that mindfulness really will decrease stress. It will help people be more focused. So when you are leading and you are sharing information, it is a really nice way to kind of clear the fog a little bit and just be a little bit more aware of what's happening. And it does definitely proven to increase empathy and compassion and connection. So as leaders, that's something really important for everyone to understand and engage in. So I thank you very much again for sharing that mindful moment and for your time, your attention, and your interest in wellness and for all you do for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, that was great. I think we're all so relaxed now. I hope everybody has the energy to go back to work, a desire. That was wonderful. What a great experience. And really take home those handouts because you can read them and then start to implement some of the ideas that are in there. Our next speaker is Nora Guerra, who is the Healthcare Management Program Administrator at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. She has been managing the company's internal employee wellness program, Journey to Health. I love that title. I absolutely do. And the Journey to Health team coordinates events and activities in support of the company's holistic approach to improving the health and wellness of its workforce. So thank you, Nora, and the mic is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to tell you about the employee wellness program that we offer internally to try to help our employees improve their health. In 2007, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey launched its internal employee wellness program called Journey to Health with a focus on education and awareness. In 2011, the company wanted to take a more holistic approach. We partnered with Virgin Pulse and introduced an incentive-based program that gave employees the opportunity to save on their annual health plan contributions by fulfilling certain requirements. Employees were given a free pedometer. Today, this is what they look like. It's called the Max Buzz. They're able to track their steps, and they receive rewards for reaching certain levels. A minimum of 7,000 steps per day is encouraged. The initial focus was on physical activity and nutrition, but over time, the program has evolved and currently includes features that promote better sleep habits, financial wellness, mindfulness, stress reduction, and emotional intelligence. Today, employees with company-sponsored health benefits have the opportunity to avoid paying an additional $1,000 on their health plan contributions by fulfilling 3 requirements during each program, Journey to Health program year. To avoid paying one $500 surcharge, they must attend a wellness clinic and reach at least 25,000 points in the Virgin Pulse program. To avoid paying another $500 surcharge, they must complete a nicotine-free attestation in their Virgin Pulse account if they don't use nicotine. If they do use nicotine, they can complete a company-sponsored nicotine cessation program. An outside vendor is contracted to administer the wellness clinics at each of our 4 office locations at no cost to our employees. They measure biometrics including height, weight, BMI, blood pressure, and waist circumference, and a finger stick test is done to measure cholesterol and glucose levels. The screenings help to identify any potential risk factors. To earn 25,000 points in the Virgin Pulse program, we use Virgin Pulse's platform, and employees can earn points by doing various activities such as tracking daily steps, getting preventive screenings and flu shots, which we do offer free at the wellness clinics, checking weight and blood pressure regularly, attending financial wellness webinars, reading health and wellness advice cards, tracking healthy habits, and participating in healthy habit and step challenges. To motivate employees to continue in the program once they've reached 25,000 points, they can earn up to $500 by reaching 55,000 points. Over the years, we've seen an increase in the number of employees earning the $500 reward. The program is strictly voluntary and open to all employees. Numerous resources are also provided to help employees improve and maintain their health and wellness. Several years ago, Horizon renovated the corporate headquarters to support the wellness activities. To encourage physical activity, there's a walking track on each floor. There is also signage so employees can see how far they've gone. One lap equals 185 steps, so 3 laps is equal to a quarter of a mile. Taking 1 flight of stairs is 22 steps. The cafeterias were also renovated and promote healthy eating habits. Specific items that meet certain nutritional standards are marked with the Journey to Health logo and cost less. Calories are displayed for prepared items, and healthy samples are available when promoting the superfood of the month. All office locations have a free on-site fitness center. And we also have Virgin Pulse Health Zone kiosks where employees can take their weight and blood pressure measurements. We also have LabCorp services on-site and a Walgreens pharmacy. We have an on-site wellness coach who's available for one-on-one counseling in exercise, fitness and conditioning, high blood pressure, heart disease, body composition, stress management, and sleep. He leads a daily on-site walking club, offers monthly blood pressure screenings, and weekly stretching and meditation sessions very similar to what we just experienced. We also have an on-site corporate dietitian who's available for one-on-one nutrition counseling. She works closely with the Journey to Health team and the company's cafeteria food vendor. The Journey to Health team meets every other week to coordinate events and activities to support the overall success of the program. Events include National Walk at Lunch Day, on-site mammography services, monthly table topics, blood drives, and company-wide step and movement challenges. Team members include the program's executive sponsor, a medical director, human resources professionals, our on-site wellness coach, corporate dietitian, the fitness center managers, and case management nurses. We also have a focus on financial wellness because we think this is important to the overall health of our employees. So Horizon partners with Fidelity, MetLife, and Cap Trust to offer one-on-one advice sessions, lunch and learns, and webinars where employees learn strategies and tips to help them manage their finances and plan for the future. Some topical workshops include building a budget, planning for college, planning for retirement, caring for an aging parent, understanding Social Security, tax strategies, and investing 101. In 2018, 24 topical workshops were offered, which over 500 employees attended. Almost 300 employees attended a one-on-one financial advice session. There is currently a 97% participation rate in the program. Wellness clinic results remain relatively flat since 2011. There has been a decrease in obesity percentages and an increase in healthy BMI. Annual physicals, mammograms, and colorectal screenings have increased over the years and exceeded national PPO HEDIS targets. We're also working with Virgin Pulse to determine how best to address gaps in care. We hope to have further success as the program and technology evolve, and as we continue to look for ways to help our employees live healthier, happier lives. Thank you.
That was terrific. I think you probably are one of the best places to work. That was great, and I think there are a lot of good ideas of things that we can all do with our businesses. Our next speaker is Barbara Bergen-Mintz, and listen to her title. It's Senior Vice President of Healthy Living and Community Engagement. And when Barbara called me up and said, "What do you want me to talk about?" I said, "Your title says it all. Just talk about what it is that you do." But basically, she oversees the wellness program for their employees and the community at large. So I know I've been looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So welcome, Barbara.
Can you hear me? Great. So thank you, everybody, for having me here today. I get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is health and wellness.
You have to put it by your face.
Put it by my face?
By your mouth.
Oh, by my mouth. That would help, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm talking from there. So I'm a dietitian and a personal trainer by training, so this is really right up my alley. And I think it really does take, when you're doing these types of programs, a certain passion for these things and a real innate ability to connect with people. And my nutrition and personal training background really has helped me to take some of these programs at the grassroots level and make them larger. for not only our employees at RWJ Barnabas Health, but the community as well. So I just want to start off by saying, just giving you a couple of numbers on how important it is that these programs be in businesses and in the community, because not only does it save money, but it saves lives as well. If you look at the statistics, any employee wellness program that you implement, for every dollar you put into it, you're going to save at least $3.60. And for every dollar you put into a population health program or a community wellness program, you're going to save $5.60. So not only does it make sense to just take care of folks, but it does save you money in the end. So with that being said, I do have to say that RWJ Barnabas Health doesn't really look at these programs as a way to save money or as a cost to the institution. It really is a way to invest in our employees, because if your employees are happy, they're more productive, there's less absenteeism, they're healthier, and that drives costs down as well. So we also have to, as a healthcare institution, we also have to be very sure that our employees are setting an example for the patients that we care for and the communities that we serve. We're not only setting an example, but in order to care for others, we have to care for ourselves. And sometimes caregivers are the worst at that. They do not take care of themselves at all. When I talk to folks about this, I always try to tell them to remember that whole scenario about putting the mask on your face when you're in an airplane before you put it over your child, because if you're not there to help your child, then no one's going to make it. So if you can think of that as you're maybe thinking about creating a program in your company or doing something in your community, remember that you have to come first, that your employees have to come first. We also know that healthier employees drive better health care for those reasons. And it also, as we transform into a more value-based healthcare paradigm, we need to also look at the fact that our employees are important to us, and that these programs are really going to be that bridge between both. So how do we do this at RWJ Barnabas Health? Well, we like to promote accountability. We want folks to begin to take care of themselves. And the way to do that is to offer programs very similar to what Horizon is doing, and that's education-based so that they can become aware of what their problems might be. Some people don't even realize that they have high blood pressure or that they have diabetes or that they're pre-diabetic. And we need to offer them programs in place so that they can find out what their issues really are, and then activities that will help them change their behavior around that. Most of healthcare costs today are driven by behaviors. When you look at some of the diseases that are out there that are driving these costs, it's obesity, and it's all the comorbidities that are attached to that, diabetes, heart disease. So if we can get people to change their behavior through education and motivation and incentives, then you'll get folks to become healthier people, and they'll hold themselves accountable, be more engaged, and make those important changes. So some of the components of our program, we are actually powered by a company called MedPro Wellness. They're an actual 6-year startup company that we have invested very heavily in because we believe in them. They, too, are very passionate about the work that they do around the wellness platform. We did have Virgin Pulse, but as I said, we are moving forward with a younger, more innovative, we think, innovative company that fits our mission. We also, through them, we have a very robust technology platform, which includes an app that you can do an HRA on. You can get some of the activities. There's challenges that you can do. We also have a very robust telephonic coaching platform, as well as on-site coaches that will help people through this journey of changing their behaviors through health and wellness. We also offering chronic disease management programs, so if you do find out that you have diabetes, we're there for you and we can help you with that, and the coaches actually do get them started and navigate them to those programs within our own system and perhaps without. And what we do for our communities, lots of the programs that we started, or that we are beginning to implement in our communities or have been implementing in our communities, started with our employees. I can give you one example of something that we started in Newark, Beth Israel, which is one of our facilities, called the Beth Challenge. It started out as a Biggest Loser contest for our employees, and I thought I would get 50 people, and I ended up getting 500. We lost 2,000 pounds in 12 weeks. It was it was actually a Biggest Loser program, but it was a little bit kinder and gentler. And it also had a nutritionist and a dietitian giving them evidence-based education, not telling them to locking them in a room, I guess is what they do on the Biggest Loser contest, and having Jillian Michaels tell you what to do every day is really not a realistic application. So we were giving them ways to navigate their own environment, and the program was so successful. It's been going on now for 10 years at Newark Beth, and we brought it into our local churches in the South Ward of Newark. We now engage 15 local churches in this particular practice, and they have lost in excess of about 20,000 pounds. We've lowered blood pressures, we've had people come off their medications. So I think part of the population health model is really to sort of do some things with your employees first as your first community, and then bring it out to your communities, and everybody is going to be healthier and happier. And you are setting an example. You're walking that talk for your communities. We also have a farmer's market in a number of our facilities, and at Newark Beth, we built a greenhouse as a result of that. We were providing a lot of education to our communities around what to eat, but in food deserts such as Newark, you won't be able to find the very food that you need to eat that we're teaching them to choose. So we brought in a farmer's market. We built a farm after that on a parking lot, and then now we have a greenhouse there that produces over 5,000 pounds of food. That food is actually used in our cafeterias. We actually were able to get SNAP now, so we can offer it to almost anybody in that community who might not otherwise be able to afford it. We also took a lot of this and put it on wheels, if you will. We have a van called our Wellness on Wheels van, which is a 35-foot RV that is a full-fledged cooking studio and a nutrition education center, and now we are able to travel throughout most of our catchment areas to provide this education to folks who may not be able to get to us. So I think, as something to take away from here is that when you really want to care for your employees, obviously you're going to do that within your four walls. But the key to helping your communities and setting that example and taking some of those programs that were successful with your employees is bringing them out of those four walls. Bring that expertise that you have as a healthcare institution and really provide what we call healthcare. I think the way things are coming now, it was sick care. Now it should be the real definition of healthcare, and that is all based in prevention. Thank you.
That was terrific, and I love the conclusion that, we used to do sick care, but now we all want to work on health care and be healthy. Our next speaker is Kelly Fernandez, and she's a senior manager of value-based programs at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. And, Blue Cross Blue Shield is not just an insurance company where, you put in, I just had this procedure, and then you wait, is it accepted, and you look to see if you're going to get the check. They are proponents of wellness. I think they'd rather see themselves have to go out of business and get everybody just living well and have less and less disease and in the workplace and in their homes. So Kelly is going to talk about some programs that she's done with both of the hospitals that are here today and other hospitals in the community. And she's running some wonderful programs, so I'm looking forward to hearing about them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining us this morning, and I'd love to leverage a little bit of what everyone's spoken about so far today, because we've heard about some really robust programs and some really amazing initiatives that some of these health systems are working on within our communities. And at Horizon, the department that I work in is called Healthcare Transformation. And what we're looking to do is really leverage some of these programs that exist in the community with our healthcare provider partners to enable our members, who are you and your employees, when they're outside of the workplace, to be able to better navigate healthcare, to be able to receive the healthcare they need, have access, and have a better experience as they navigate the healthcare delivery system. So about 10 years ago, the area of Horizon that I work with started engaging with providers in a different way. We started building what we call value-based programs. And at that point, it was a model called patient-centered medical homes, which is an engagement with primary care physicians where we're really asking them to sort of quarterback healthcare for our members, where they're looking to help navigate through the system to manage quality that the members are receiving as well as cost. Those programs were so successful that we expanded and expanded and expanded. About 4 years ago, we launched the Omnia Health Alliance, and 2 of our partners are up here, Hackensack Meridian Health and RWJ Barnabas Health. We've been working with them on a number of initiatives, as well as a number of other health systems and provider groups throughout the state. And some of the work that we've been doing, I'll go through today with you just to give a few examples, but it's helping your members. There are some initiatives I think that we spoke about earlier today that are really helping your members in the workplace, right? Your employees in the workplace. But what about when they're outside? How do we make sure that they're making good decisions, that they're being guided through the healthcare delivery system, that they're able to access the care they need when they need it in the right setting? So we talk about the triple aim being reduction of cost, medical cost, improvement of quality, and improvement of the patient experience overall. Those are the 3 key objectives of all of our value-based programs. So when we engage with a provider group in one of these programs, those are the 3 key objectives that they all agree to work with us collaboratively on solutions for. So some of the ways we're doing that are helping members, particularly those who have oncology cases, so those who are diagnosed with cancer, which can be extremely scary, right? It can be extremely scary to get that diagnosis and extremely confusing to try to figure out what's my first step, where do I go? So there's some of our health systems have navigation programs within them. We're trying to bring those to our members, so leveraging the strengths of our health system where they really provide high quality and direct care to our members, making sure they're aware of them and can access those programs. We're also helping to engage provider groups who work with oncology patients to be more of a quarterback of that type of care. So we're building something called oncology medical homes. So having provider groups who are committed to helping members in those situations navigate care. And we're working with a few key institutions and provider groups throughout the state to develop those. We're also looking at behavioral health, which is a key driver, and we're seeing that growing throughout the state. Behavioral health is another thing that's difficult to navigate, provides members, I think, with a lot of confusion and a lot of fear or trepidation right at the onset. And we're working to expand our network of behavioral health providers and expand members' awareness of the services that they can receive, where they can receive them. So those are a few initiatives. We've also undertaken something where we're looking at social determinants of health, and those are some key components of a member's either demographics or where they live or income status, different things on a socioeconomic level that may impact how they decide to receive care. So for some members, we're seeing that it may be a decision of, do I renew my prescription, or do I make sure that my family has dinner or pay our rent, or things like that. So food insecurity, housing insecurity. Both of our health systems up here are engaging initiatives internally to address some of those issues as well. And what we're trying to do is change the discussion at the table, the traditional conversation that a health insurance company and a provider have had, into a collaboration on how do we address the needs of the patient population. And what we call that is really population health management. So enabling our provider partners to better understand the needs of the population, because we have them as members, but we're leveraging the capabilities that they have as the deliverer of healthcare and the knowledge they have as the provider to then deliver the best product, the best experience to our members. The way we're leveraging all of these great initiatives and the collaborations that we have is through our line of Omnia products. So our Omnia products take our overall network and incentivize members to use our value-based providers. So our value-based providers are the ones who are committed with us to achieving those triple aim objectives, the improvement of quality, the reduction of total medical expense, and the improvement of patient experience across the board. So those initiatives have grown. Our value-based participation amongst providers has grown over the last few years. Our network continues to stay strong. It's expanded over the last few years as well. So we're really seeing a lot of growth, a lot of collaboration, especially with the health systems that we have up here, and the expansion into new and innovative initiatives that we're hoping to deliver additional value to our members, to you as employers as well, and to deliver better health care. I think Barbara actually addressed it perfectly well, so changing the way we define health care, really to being preventative and a full wellness experience. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It was a wonderful panel, very interesting. I'm sure we all learned a lot. I think we have some time for some questions. So, anybody? Somebody has to start. Gary, I knew I could count on Gary.
I have a question about changing healthcare, where there's more engagement today, I think, to go out into the community and to engage the community. Could any of you please speak about that? Because I think it's a very important and exciting trend.
You want to come up here, Barbara, so you can get on TV?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have found that we've had the most engagement from our populations if we're out there meeting them where their needs are, instead of having them come to us for everything. Lots of people, to your point, the point about the social determinants of health, transportation is a huge issue. I mean, we have a compliance rate of no-shows in our clinics in Newark of about 50%. And it isn't because people don't care about their health, it's because they don't have the means to get there, or they have to take 2 buses, or they have childcare issues. So to bring this type of expertise out into the community, I think is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be behind our 4 walls waiting for people to get sick and come to us. We will never, ever, that is not a sustainable model. We have to take our expertise as healthcare providers and go out into the community, in our churches, schools, any faith-based institution, businesses, wherever people are living their daily lives. That's the most teachable moment, I think. You're not going to teach them at the bedside when they're sick and they just want to go home. They're going to take the discharge packet of education and say, I hope I never have to come back and see you again. I think the healthcare institutions of the future will be more like hubs. They'll be education hubs, because that's what we can provide.
Thank you. I'd like to ask all of you a question. Raise your hands if you offer any wellness programs where you work, in your job, where you work. Oh, that's great. Terrific. Okay, those of you with your hands up, would anybody like to share some of the things that you do and some of the ideas that you have? Any brave souls? Oh, you want to keep it a corporate secret, huh? Okay. Any other questions? Kyle?
Education of how to shop. I often, when I've been in the health field for many, many years, but we would be out with certain populations and we would tell them, you know, shop the perimeter of the grocery store, stay out of the aisles. But I think that it's, you know, time that we start working with places like ShopRite and Wegmans and so forth, where we can be there at the shopping center or at the shop mart and educate people before they go into the store. Because we will tell them here, or that we'll tell them at their children's school, and then they'll forget. But can we meet them at their, you know, before they walk in and give them a sample of a healthy shopping list?
That is great. So just in case you couldn't hear Councilman Anderson, he is talking about the important part of wellness and food, and how if you know how to shop in a supermarket, generally the healthiest food is along the perimeter. But many people don't know that, and what he's suggesting is maybe have a health coach as you come into the supermarket to tell them these are good foods, here's a sample of a good food, and healthy foods
taste delicious. They're fun. So, and we do have somebody here from Wegmans, so I'm sure, and they are really into health and wellness, so I'm sure they'll take that home with them. Anybody else? Well, thank you for coming today, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot.